First of all, I'm going to break down a couple different ways you can buy wholesale. There are distributors who have direct relationships with brands and distribute their products. They're distributing to online retailers, they're distributing to brick and mortar retailers, they might be exporting overseas or importing, but they're one step away from the manufacturer or brand themselves. You can definitely do great just using distributors. Usually it's actually a lower barrier to entry to open those types of accounts. They don't really care about anything but except doing big sales numbers. You get a salesperson who's on commission and just wants you to do volume. There's some advantages, but there's also some disadvantages to distributors. So one of them is the pricing often does not work. Distributors need to mark up the product. They buy from the manufacturer, they need to mark it up 20, 30, 50%, whatever. So often you get a higher price than going straight to the manufacturer or brand. So often you'll get a price list from a distributor, they have 10,000 products for sale, it looks great, looks like there's tons of opportunity, and then you actually analyze the products and compare the price, your buy cost to what it sells on Amazon, and after the fees, it might break even or lose money. So the extent to which you make money from distributors, I've found in my experience, is the extent to which you can negotiate the pricing down. And often you might have to even do an order or two intentionally at break even just to prove to the sales rep and prove to the distributor, hey, I'm going to spend money, I'm a real customer, I'm not wasting your time, I'm gonna buy, let's say, $2,000 or $5,000 of product just to get an order under my belt. And then they see once that customer has actually placed an order, which not all customers do. A lot of distributors will open up customers and then 2/3 of them never even do an order, So if you're in the camp of, oh, this guy did order, he paid on time, no problems. Okay, now order number 2, 3, 4, let's work with them a little bit, especially if you say as a customer, I want to buy 10 times the amount this time. Maybe you bought 100 units of a SKU and then you sold through it in 3 days. Well, next time you can come back and say, I'll buy 1,000 of them, but I need a lower price. Can you take $1 off the price if I get an entire pallet of the product instead of just a couple of cases? So that's kind of the game you play with distributors. Another downside to distributors is sometimes they're not fully authorized. So they might have access to closeouts or liquidations or just get stuff all sorts of ways. But if there's a problem on Amazon and they say a customer says it's inauthentic or any number of things can happen, they'll request an invoice and they may or may not accept the invoice from the distributor. Whereas if you're buying straight from the brand, there's a much higher chance, nearly 100% chance, they will accept the invoice if you keep appealing it. So it represents a little bit more account health risk, and prices can be higher on average, but perfectly viable. There are a lot of mega sellers out there that pretty much exclusively buy from distributors and do quite well. Another last point I'll make about distributors is some brands just simply do not sell to retailers no matter how big. They're just set up to only sell to distributors. Those distributors will sell to the retailer. So there are a few brands I work with, even though they know that I sell on Amazon and I'm authorized and they're fine with it, they still point me towards a distributor because they say we simply do not sell directly to retailers. It doesn't matter how much you order, we just have these relationships. So that's a little bit about distributors. Now let's talk about brands. So brands, pretty obvious what a brand is. I think everyone here knows what a brand is. So you can cut out the middleman, which is the distributor, and approach the brand directly and say we want to establish a wholesale account and retail the product on Amazon or other online marketplaces. Often they will give you a better price, direct authorization. So those are the advantages. And then the disadvantage is sometimes you do have to do more work. You have to do content improvement, advertising for them, SEO, report back to them monthly, form a much deeper relationship. Whereas a distributor, it's kind of anonymous. So I'm not saying there's any right or wrong answer, but I think long term, I do prefer brand direct because working directly with brands is going to be the safest play overall. It's the safest way to resell of any method by far, short of being the brand owner yourself. Thanks for watching this YouTube video. And if you want to learn directly from me and fast track your way to wholesale success, click the link below and we'll talk to you soon.